And here we go, ready for Harlem Eubank versus David Papot. A nice little fight this, a nice little comeback fight after the technical decision loss by Harlem against Jack Cattrall in a very scrappy affair. But straight back into the fire, David Papot been in, mixed it with the highest possible level of fighters across the division. We will go into that. So let's hit the tail of the tapes. Harlem Eubank, 33 years old, 5'8" with a 68-inch reach. David Papot, 5'10", 35 years old with a 71-inch reach, fighting out of that southpaw stance. So yes, this fight, it is a great test, but for me it doesn't line up to be the greatest fight on paper. Harlem is often known for being in scrappy affairs, and David Papot lacks that bit of power. He did have a fantastic outing with Liam Porro, and that fight was amazing. I definitely don't expect that in this fight. But both very tricky customers, both got a very good record, and it will be interesting. Whoever wins this is going to be right up there in terms of a title shot. Harlem obviously coming off, he was out against Josh Wagner, and then he had the technical decision loss before that against Jack Cattrall, which was it was a scrappy fight, that one. It was a very scrappy one. So it'll be interesting to see what happens in this fight. Both men fighting in that welterweight division. So many stars in that, and I really think for both of these guys, especially Harlem, that they've got to get themselves into a mandatory position, because I don't think anyone's going to be queuing up to fight either of these guys, if I'm honest with you. I mean, Harlem's a tough night's work for anyone, not quite the draw of the rest of his family, and like I say, a very tough night's work. David Papot could get a shot. I don't think too many people will be avoiding him, but that is the reality. But there is a world where Harlem, he could get the win here today, get himself a decent ranking, because I don't believe he is currently ranked. I think he's ranked with the IBF, isn't he? He's ranked with the IBF, so maybe that's the route they'll go, and maybe target a fight with Liam Porro. But I believe Paddy Donovan's still due a shot in there, so it could be quite a wait. Although the IBF are known to be the best as that round comes to an end. They are known to be the best for calling their mandatories and being quite strict with them. Let's see who's won that round. So, Papot getting the round there. Very interesting, 54-54 as we head into the third. But there is a world where Conor Benn could beat Ryan Garcia. Maybe Harlem receives a WBC ranking after this, and we could get Eubank versus Benn again. That would be a nice shock and a nice surprise, and a great turn of events for Harlem. This fight yet to catch fire yet on the simulator, and like I said, I do think it will be much the same. But a very interesting thing about this fight, it will be the first time that the zone is using Gladius. And Gladius it's an AI powered sports broadcast viewer tracker technology. So what that is, who knows? It sounds fun, it sounds exciting, it just sounds like it's a new way to consume media from boxing. It could be new stats, new camera angles, so it's very interesting. It's something I have a great interest in, because I tell you now, I'd like to see a better AI than the Sierra Championship boxing, than the C64. C64 Sims is undefeated in that area, so it will be great to see another AI. Let's have a look at this round quick. 10-7, 10-9. A Papot round there. Papot going up by one round. But it'll be great to see another AI come on the scene and try and do what the C64's been doing since the 1980s, and doing it better than anyone. Now, I'm not sure if it will be giving predictions. I don't think it will. And I don't think it could to this level. Because this week, if we get the win from whoever wins this fight, could be Harlem, could be David Papot. I'm predicting, despite being one round down, it will be Harlem. But whoever it is, I would like to see Gladius hit 22 wins in a row, which we are going for this week, with the winner of this being the 22nd consecutive winner. 22 weeks in a row, the C64 prediction has remained undefeated. Under my great stewardship, admittedly, but the C64 does all the work. But still, a very catchy affair. Not too much has gone on in this fight. Very close. A lot of skill, but not too much power. And that is very much how I expect this fight to go, as round 4 draws to a close. Let's see the results come in. We've got a 10-7 for Harlem. So we are right back, tied up through 4 rounds, starting the 5th, 108-108. And like I said, this is how the predictor does it. This is, I guarantee you, this will be very similar to the fight that we get. Very close, very catchy. Not too many highlight moments, but some good skills sprinkled throughout. But I don't even know if I went over. I did. I was gonna say, but a fight that we could see, and my god, they just might have stinker all over it. But Roland Romero versus Harlem Eubank is a possibility. That would be a very interesting fight, and I think probably the one I may be targeting if I was Harlem. I think it's very winnable. And Jack Cattrall also holds the belt over there in the WBA. I don't know if it's 5 people queuing up to see, but again, there is unfinished business there. As round 5 draws to a close. We will see the results as they come in. So a big round for Harlem there, and that could be the difference in this fight. Taking all 3 rounds by 3 points, giving him a lead of 138 to 129. So that is a 9-point lead for Harlem Eubank. Much needed, giving him a little bit of breathing room in a very close fight. On the undercard of this, we also have Molly versus Note. And across the weekend, Diego Pacheco is out against Aleem. On his undercard, we will see Cruz versus Montoya as well. And Leo Atang, I believe that will be his US debut. So, nice little card over there in America. And then, the week after, we've got a double header. 2 big bangers, which I'm very excited for. And I know the fan reaction when these 2 fights went out was disappointed at best. But now as it draws closer, I'm just excited to see both men in the ring. Tyson Fury will be taking on Marius Wack. I believe that's on the 24th. We'll have to get a grip on the time zones, because it could be on the morning of the 24th. So, and apparently it's going to be hard to watch. Apparently it's not being broadcasted. I don't know. I think it will. So, a 10-7 Papot, a 10-7 Eubank, and a 10-8 Papot. That tightens things up a little bit. 163, 156 as we head into the 7th. And then on Saturday the 25th, we have Anthony Joshua versus Christian Prenga on a great card. So we will see Fury and Joshua fighting within a day of each other. Both easy fights, both turnaround fights, should get the job done relatively easy and come out unscathed. And please God, can we see that Fury versus Joshua fight before the end of the year? great card supporting the Joshua fight as well. On there we have Jacob Bank versus August. I'm not familiar with August, but Jacob Bank. The one thing I would say is Hamza Shiraz is on this card. We'll go over that in a minute. But why is Jacob Bank not facing Hamza Shiraz? That's a top class fight. That's a great fight. A fight that should happen, and I think a fight that will happen. We might even get a face off, if not, on the 25th. But why are we beating around the bush? Tatsumi will take on Meza. Josh Kelly will take on how do they say it? I think it's just Kieran Agyako. I've seen the guy about. Very good fighter. Very good fighter. That's yeah, I think Kohai Agyako. But it could be like the goalkeeper from Liverpool, and that could be Queever. Could be Queever. Anything. We're not here to listen to me struggle with names. As Papot has taken the lead in this fight, I was too busy working on pronunciation. I did not realise that Papot is now leading the fray. And then we have the earlier proposed Hamza Shiraz versus Zackenhuber fight, which I saw Zackenhuber on a card. He fought a relative unknown and he got beat. So I'm very shocked. I know he's come back and got a win since, but I'm very shocked to see him in the world title fight when we have frickin' Jacob Bank on the card. But Harlem Eubank goes down from out of nowhere. David Papot, not known for his power, with only 4 knockouts on his record, has shook Harlem Eubank there right at the end of the round, so Harlem should be okay. He should recover. But we've got to see a Papot round. Although the C64, the one area, or maybe some would agree does do it well, is, and it's done it there, a 10-7 Eubank, a 10-9 Papot, 10-9 Eubank, and a 10-8 Papot. It's give Harlem the round, despite being knocked down, and it can be a terrible judge on the scorecards. As Papot again puts Harlem down, Harlem is bang in trouble here. 2-12, an extremely close fight, but Papot has all of the momentum. He might not survive the round here. It could be over. He's adjusting well and he's boxing well, but he was severely hurt. But yeah, Shiraz versus Zackenhuber. Hopefully both Shiraz and Bank come out looking good. We can get that face off in the ring, and we will get that fight next. That'll be a good fight, a big fight for Hamza Shiraz. As Harlem Eubank teeing off, absolutely teeing off, but he doesn't go down. How did Papot not go down there? About 5-6 shots unanswered while he was rocking. But the good fights do not stop there as Harlem Eubank goes down. A fight that was, nothing had happened for 8 or 9 rounds, and now it has sprung to life. A big round for Papot, 10-8, 10-7, 10-8, all for Papot. 2-4-2, 2-3-5, David Papot. Eubank needs to put in work across these last 3 rounds, and he does there. He gets a big rock, and another big rock. Great work from Harlem. But, you gonna let me talk, boys? The action doesn't stop there that week. Another big rock. The action doesn't stop there that weekend as Errol Spence Jr. finally makes his return against Tim Tszyu. What a fight to jump back into. Credit to Errol Spence for that one. I am really looking forward to seeing how he does. That'll be on early in the Sunday morning over here in the UK, so you should be able to check that out. And a real, big shot by Harlem Eubank, putting Papot down. This is exactly what Harlem needed after he was in a lot of trouble in the 9th. he has turned it round here in the 10th. The judges will probably give it to Papot. That is the way on the C64. Even the judging is realistic. They fuck it up all the time. So let's see what the judges say before we go over the undercard. So 3-10-7s for Harlem Eubank. At this point in the fight, that is huge. 2-6-5, 2-6-3. Also, on the Spence to Zoo Cup, we have Steve Fulton versus Liam Wilson. Real good fight that. Real good fight. Steve Fulton's always in entertaining fights, good fights. And before that, we also have Charlo making his return. Jamal Charlo, it's been a minute since he's been out, hasn't it? A year. It's not too sad. It's not too sad. Or as David Papot scores a knockdown. And that weekend we also have a Zuffa boxing card, Belanga versus Butler. We have Richardson Hitchens on there, Derevenchenko and Otto Wallin. Opponents not so great, but it'll be interesting to see them. So you literally can go from the Friday morning till pretty much the early hours of Monday morning. Good shot there by Harlem Eubank, and have boxing on the telly all day. It's a huge weekend, and it will be an industry changing weekend. We will the roads to where we're going will be a lot clearer. We'll know about Fury Joshua. We will another big round for Harlem, so he should see this out here. He will. He's got an 11-point lead. David Papot will need the knockdown in this round. But we will know if we're getting Joshua Fury. We will know where Spence is. We will potentially know Hamza Shiraz's next opponent. So a lot of big stuff happening that weekend. Now, David Papot had a broken rib. I got to pick up on that at the end of the last round, and I think it's been stopped. And it has. Papot has been stopped. That's a bit sad. I would have liked to see this go the full way. Papot's fought fantastic here, but an injury has stopped it. That's your C64 prediction.